Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. In this video, I'm going to take you through my swing trade in ticker AS. We're really going to focus on the identification of the swing trade, specifically on relative strength. So I've overlaid AS with the triple Q so I can teach you the really important things to be paying attention to in terms of relative strength and identifying those leading stocks. Before we get into it, I'll let you know that Market Surge are today's video sponsor. They're my go-to resource for analyzing company fundamentals. If you're interested in a discounted trial, then you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so we'll start off with an overview of the swing trade itself and the setup. Then as the video progresses, we'll start going into the details of relative strength comparing AS versus the triple Qs. And you can see that I've highlighted a couple of important days that we're going to be analyzing the two on. So in terms of the setup itself, you may see here on the 15th of January, a tight bar sitting on that black moving average. Now that is the 10-day EMA. If you followed me for a little while, you may recognize that as a trigger bar. I appreciate you can't see the volume, but it's a low volume inside day forming a little shakeout demand tail as well. So it's a bit of both, okay? It's what I call a trigger bar and also a shakeout demand tail sitting right there on the 10-day EMA. So my entry is on Jan 16th through the high of that bar, and my initial stop loss is placed underneath the low of that bar by a single cent. So I'm keeping the risk nice and tight relative to the 20-day average daily range percentage, which is covered in the blueprint video on the channel. So the setup there, the overview, okay, it's a stock that is showing relative strength, as you're going to learn about. It forms a really tight inside day on the 10-day EMA. I target it through the high, initial stop loss place 1 cent underneath the low of that bar. Nice and simple, but how did I reach the conclusion that, okay, why do I want to target AS? Is this a special stock? Is it showing me anything that actually the institutions, the large market operators are really supporting this stock? Well, let's start going through it in chronological order, okay? So this is the concept of relative strength. So the stock's able to rally, has a positive earnings reaction, is able to rally, and it starts trending up. Pretty similar to the market, right? There's not much difference in terms of the rally from mid-November to mid-ish December. If anything, maybe the major index is a little bit stronger because it doesn't pull in here around early December to the 10-day EMA. So during this period here, I would actually say, yeah, the index is probably stronger than the stock actually. But where we really start to see the relative strength is when the proverbial market tide goes out. So when the market starts pulling back, correcting, okay, this is where we get to see what are the stocks, what are the potential themes as well, but specifically the stock here, what are the stocks that institutions are supporting. So take a look at the 18th of December daily candlestick for the triple Qs. I call this rolling out of bed. This is where the index just go like that with the sound effect, like that. It doesn't take a pause at the 10-day EMA. It doesn't take a pause at the 21-day EMA, the triple Qs. This just rolls out of bed. So it loses the 10-day, loses the 21, bearish change of character bar, right? It's a widespread candlestick. Opens near the high of the day, goes out near the low of the day. Change of character, right? Change of character indicates heavy distribution. But what does the stock do on that day? You see it? Okay, it's a bearish candlestick, but this is why it's relative strength, okay? It's relative to the major indexes. Yes, it's a bearish bar, okay? It's actually an inside day. I mean, think about that. It's actually an inside day. I know it closes really weak. It's an inside day that closes above the 10-day EMA, doesn't even try to undercut the prior session's low and trades inside the prior day's range. When the indexes just did that, why are institutions not heavily distributing this stock here? Okay, interesting. Now, there's nothing to do on that bar, but this is where the stock can rebase. Maybe it builds a kind of a VCP, a Darvis box, a cup and handle, a flag, a wedge, a pennant or something like that in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. And these are just the things to notice and go, wow, hang on a minute. The stock was really strong on the 18th of December. Let's fast forward to the 2nd of January. What do we see the triple Qs do? Well, it's here and it's kind of trying to shake out underneath the 50-day simple period moving average. Okay, it kind of bounces around the 65-day EMA, which is the gray line there on my chart, but it's all the way down here, right? It's rolled out of bed there, tried to rally, makes a new low down here. I mean, it's just looking weak, it's looking choppy, it's looking distributional. Where's AS? So think about this, 2nd of January, the Qs is down here, and remember everything leading up into this, okay? Change of character, tries to just roll, just looking choppy, distributional. What does the stock do? The stock's effectively gone sideways along its 10-day EMA. Look at the 2nd of January bar there for the stock compared to the triple Qs. What's stronger? If you look at the candlestick itself, clearly a stronger candlestick, right? Nice candlestick, bounce off the 10-day EMA, decent close to it, while the triple Qs is down here. This is a much more bullish candlestick. It's indicating institutions are supporting this stock. It's never just one thing, but these are the clues to pick up on. Okay, is it AS doing this? Is it Robinhood doing this? Is it Reddit doing this? Is it PLTR doing this? Is it this stock or this stock or this stock? So the big down days in the indexes, these are the times to really dial in and go, okay, what stock was holding up really well? What are the stocks that the institutions are supporting? If we take a look at the 7th of January, right, again, a bearish kind of change of character, just confirming that this is still just very distributional here, okay? What does it do? It opens here, closes here weak, through the 10, through the 21, heading towards the 50. What does the stock do? Kind of like a little doji hammer, bearishish doji bar, something like that. But you see what I mean, right? When the index again sells off, this stock, it's resisting that downwards drag of the index. Someone's supporting this stock for some reason. If we then take a look at the 13th of January, okay? 13th of January, the triple Qs is all the way down here. It's gone lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, new lower low. Look at our stock. It's here, bouncing off the 21-day EMA. It's pretty much just flat from the 18th of December. See that? If you were to draw along, where is the bottom at the 18th of December, it's actually above it. Draw across the bottom at the 18th of December here, the triple Qs is way below it. This is relative strength. This is a leading stock finding support around key moving averages. 10-day EMA being the black line, 21-day EMA being the blue line on my charts. This is what the creme de la creme, this is what the strongest stocks do. Okay, and then what happens here is it starts tightening around its 10-day, 21-day EMA, bouncing off there again. Then you get this really tight inside bar, okay, on the 15th of January, which is here, and the triple Qs is now starting on the 15th of January, starting to look a little bit more positive. Okay, kind of undercuts this down here, if you recognize it, is what I call a gap down reversal bar. So now it's trying to come back round in here. Okay, now we've got this tight inside bar, so we can create a favorable risk to potential reward scenario here. We know this stock has been showing a lot of relative strength as well, relative to what was going on here for the triple Qs. Now it doesn't break out on the 16th of January, okay? It's not a big kind of powerful breakout day, something like we saw over here or over here, right? Now why is that? If you take a look, what did the triple Qs do on the 16th of January? It was what I call a gap and a fade. Okay, the prior closes here, it gaps to here, fades, goes out on the low. Well, no wonder the stock was unable to break out. But again, look at the strength of the candlestick, because you may look at that and think, that's a feeble candlestick. It didn't even break out, didn't even go. Yeah, it's just like a tight little doji bar, isn't it? But look at it relative to what the triple Qs did on the 16th of January. Again, the stock is saying, I'm strong. This is the concept of relative strength, okay? Now, in the last couple of days where the stock's been able to power up, look how the weight of the indexes is starting to be lifted. And on the 27th of January, when the triple Qs again rolls out of bed, think about this, it's a huge gap down, okay? Prior closes up here, gaps down all the way to here on the deep seek news, okay? Gaps down all the way to here. What does the stock do? It doesn't even gap down really. I mean, a tiny little gap from there to there, but just holds around the 10-day EMA, holds above the 21-day EMA, while the triple Qs lost the 10-day, the 21-day, and the 50-day, and goes all the way down to the 65-day in a single day. The stock's just there. On the 10-day, again, it's showing strength. So when the indexes are again rolling out of bed, they roll out of bed here, they roll out of bed here, they roll out of bed here. What does the stock do? Nope, I'm just going to hold up, I'm just going to hold up, I'm just going to hold up. Someone somewhere, for some reason, is supporting this stock. You can't take out a clipboard and go and ask them and say, hey, Fidelity, hey, whatever it is, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, whoever it may be, okay, Sovereign Wealth Fund, hey, why are you supporting this stock? It doesn't matter the reason why. What matters is they are, and that you are seeing this. Now, these are the type of stocks that I like to dial in on. Okay, these stocks here displaying exceptional relative strength, the real leaders in the market. So this is how you identify those leading stocks in the market. You pay attention to the subtleties, to the nuances like this. So when the indexes roll out of bed on, say, the 18th of December or the 7th of January or the 20th, you're paying attention, okay, to the clues that the market is giving you and the individual stocks are giving you to say, oh, hang on a minute, this stock is really strong. Okay, when the index rolled out of bed really hard, the institutions didn't want to let go of this stock very easily. So I'll wrap the video up there, guys. Hopefully that there is useful and constructive and something that you can apply in your own trading when you are analyzing various stocks. Thank you very much for all the support on the YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video.